we're very happy to also have brothers and sisters all from Zone 9, from Mauritius and South Africa and African region. Sister Jenny Maharaj is here. Sister, thank you so much for being here. Yeah, and also a few others, I think, who have come, including yeah. Anyway, so what we normally do here, for those of you who are coming in for the first time, okay, for the first time who have come here, every Tuesday we have these satsangs, and what we do is we contemplate, or we get groups. We have divided ourselves into 4 groups, and every group will have their own respective discussions and then present to the overall group the findings of that discussion, generally based on the study circle guides that we often generate. So this time we are focusing on Swami's letters that was released for the Guru Purnima some time back. So this is where we are right now. We have finished 2 letters. Today we are doing the 3rd one in group 3. So just before we go, is there anybody wants to make any comments, any thoughts, anything that happened the last 1 week you want to share? Okay, if there's none, then probably we'll have group 3. We leave today group 3, right?
All right. So can we have Sister Kamlesh to read the letter for us?
Yeah. Yes, Sairam. Sairam, everyone. It's nature of the self. Papa's addressing the boys. Dear boys, the world of today is so full of people who are selfish, unloving, and unloved. The brand of atheism has become almost a religion. What is the self? It is the self that is real. The real self, no thought itself. The real self is the selfless self, the self that has no thought either of or for itself. It is the self that has forgotten itself because somehow it remembers itself only in others. It is the self that loves without the thought of self. Because love is self as affection. It is the self that seeks the truth without thought of self. Because quiet is the cessation of self from all worldliness. It is the self that is in wordless meditation, because wordless meditation is the stopping of the mind through union with the divine. It is the self that does not judge, but evaluates. It does not compare, does not seek security of any kind, does not see even itself. It is the self that has completely absorbed itself, and yet, in a strange and mystical fashion, it is ever more itself, more complete and more real than it has ever been. This is the real self. God is love. Love is selflessness. Selflessness is the abolition of all sense of selfhood and separateness, all spurious identification with the isolative life of the counterfeit thing called self. Self is the separateness. Separateness is the denial of wholeness, holiness, God. The denial of God is godlessness, atheism. As can now be understood, atheism is not the denial of this or that religion or the denial of this or that concept of God. It is rather the denial of the life of love, which is the nature of God. It is the assertion of the life of the little self, which is the negation of the being of God. In short, real atheism is the denial of love, the assertion of selfishness. The Godward process called self-sacrifice is in its most essence love. For God is love, and love alone can lead to him. So the most godly act is the act of love, and most godless act is the act of non-love or hate. But hate, which is separateness, can arise only when there is selfishness or selffulness. Thus, it It comes to pass that the most godless, loveless, atheistic act is the act of selfishness or selffulness. Love must be completely selfless to be Godward, to be divine. Its criterion must be the beloved first. Its technique must be your happiness, not mine. The way to happiness is the forgetting of oneself and the remembering of God, your Sai Krishna. With blessings and love, Sri Satya Sai. Points to consider. Number 1, define atheist based on Swami's statement. Real atheism is the denial of love, the assertion of selfishness. Explore how it is a magnification of Swami's dictum, love is God, God is love. Number 2, what is the way to happiness according to Swami? Sai Ram.
Thank you, Sister Kamlesh. Thank you. So before, I think before we go to answer the question, maybe we capture some of what Swami said about the self. So we have taken some points on what Swami said about the self. So below here are some points. So Swami said the self or the real self has no thought of itself. The selfless self has no thought either of or for itself. The self has forgotten itself because it remembers itself only in others. The self loves without the thought of self because love is self as affection. The self seeks the truth without thought of self because quiet is the cessation of self from all worldliness. Within that deep silence, the self inevitably connects with the truth itself. So maybe this is what is meant by quiet is the cessation of self from all worldliness. And the self is in wordless meditation because wordless meditation is the stopping of the mind through union with the divine. The self does not judge, but evaluates. The self does not compare, does not seek security of any kind, does not see even itself. The self has completely absorbed itself, and yet in a strange and mystical fashion, it is ever more itself, more complete and more real than it has ever been. So we took out these lines to have a better understanding from on what Swami said in his letter. So it is still a bit difficult to understand, but we'll see what we can do later on and how much we can understand. So Swami also spoke on atheism. So let's see what Swami said about atheism. Swami said, understanding atheism, he said the denial of God is atheism. And the denial of the life of love. Life of love, we take it to mean nature of God, is atheism. And the assertion of selfishness is atheism. And adding on a bit to that is how atheism survives. Atheism survives because people have forgotten God or are denying God. People have forgotten about expansion of love and that God is love and love is God. As a result, Swami says, the world of today is so full of people who are selfish, unloving, and unloved. The small self believes in separateness. Hence, the idea of oneness does not occur to them. So just a small question here for thought. If we have time, maybe we can see what we can do with this question. Is ask, can atheism be the work of Maya, illusion, that causes one to not see the real self from the unreal self? Okay, so, all right. Points to consider. Now we go to the first question. Define atheist based on Swami's statement. Real atheism is the denial of love, the assertion of selfishness. Explore how it is a magnification of Swami's dictum, love is God and God is love. And for this, Brother Manoj has shared some thoughts. So can we have Brother Manoj to share his thoughts with us? Sorry.
Can you just lower it down, sister?
Yes, sorry, yeah. All right.
Sorry. So I think I just spoke, but sister has noted it down, so I don't know what I spoke that time and what it is there, but I think she has made it more beautiful in her composition. So to understand this, we have to delve deep, like extracting the butter from the milk. So when I identify myself as Manoj, I identify myself with my personality, where I am from, what are my likes and dislikes. The moment I go beyond that and become selfless and become selflessness, that is called the actual spirituality, which Swami talks about oneness, wholeness, loving all, and atheist, not atheist, but atheist. And how is this a magnification of Swami's dictum? God, love is God and God is love. Loving God also means loving yourself. You have to love everything and everyone. So there is no duality. Everything and everyone is also God. While we take good care of ourselves, we should have the caring and the compassion to take good care of others too. As we expand our love, at least we are loving God more and more. And that is called God is love and love is God. But the people who are selfish don't love others, not even their own parents. That is why Swami says atheism has become almost a religion, because more and more people in the world today are selfish, unloving, and in turn unloved. As a result, more and more people are becoming atheist. The example of a mother who sacrifices everything for a child with intense love is a good example of one who loves God. Once you are a mother, you are that mother. There is no separateness between you and your child. You are both one and the same. There is no separateness and no selfishness. There is only God love. So just to elaborate on this point, which I spoke last time, is that normally first thing we have to do is to love God, is that first we have to love ourselves. But that is the first criteria, because nowadays, suppose we are going and somebody speaks against us or something like that, passes a remark. And then what happens? That we react. We, like, suppose I'm thin and somebody say you're a fat man. So I react, oh, how you can say like this? And I keep the thought within me. But suppose I love myself. Suppose I talk to myself, saying that I'm thin. I whatever people say, I don't get bothered about it. So what happens is that whatever other comments come, I don't get disturbed. So this is the first criteria in loving others, is first to love ourselves. The moment we start loving ourselves, we don't depend on outside comments or outside observations. And as we start loving ourselves, and since we are in Swami fold, we say that God is love, love is God. So we start loving others also. The problem is that now in this case, when I start loving myself, it so happened that I'm not bothered about outside comments. I'm not bothered about others, whether they are good or bad, both. And once we have that attitude, then what happens? We will not be bothered. We will be more connected with anybody, whether he's a bad person or good person. And that is how our love will expand. And that is how we feel that we are connected with others. So Here, what Swami is trying to tell us is that the moment we start seeing other person as separate, the love begins to falter. If he's my relative, it's my son, my child, I love him. But if he's a friend, if he's far away or something like that, he has spoken something against me, I start comparing. And that's what's worse to say, if I'm in an office and suppose he gets a promotion or he gets something more than me, the feeling comes why he has got, and I don't feel happy on others' promotion or others upgradation. So these are the things when we start looking on the outer side, we start to unlove people. But suppose if I see that, oh, he's my colleague, he's my office, he's my friend, if he gets, I'm so happy, then what happens? That love starts expanding. And this is what Swami is trying to tell us, that when there is no comparison between myself and the other person, there is no differentiation between anything. Because when I see that it is mine, it's my finger, I don't get angry on the finger. But if it's somebody else's finger, I may find some comments on it. So all these things are happens because the moment start feeling that it is separate from us. But actually, if you see in God's creation, everything is Maya, and everything, the moment the Maya is removed, we become one. And that's why the Swami's main purpose of telling us is that we have to love more and more people, so that what happens, that we expand our love, and at the same time slowly we start losing our ego, we start losing our identity, and that's where, whether it's good or bad, we remains. Silent, sister.
Thank you, brother, for explaining deeper into this. Yes, thank you very much. And actually, we have a Sister Shireen who also shared something. Sister Shireen, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
All right, very good. Sister, can you read your sharing?
Most of us, most of us humans love ourselves first or family first and whatever else that we want. And now and then we think of God.
Yes, I think this is very true. Yeah, most of us love ourselves first. We tend to love ourselves first. And then only now and then we think of God. Maybe when we are in trouble or difficulty, then we think of God. Have you anything else to add on to this, Sister Shireen?
Okay. This is a story about transformation of myself, I would say. When how do I say this? Okay, so this is a transformation that I have been working on it for over 5 years now. So I thought that by giving my extra car to my my staff is a good karma for me. But at the end, it turned out to be a painful exercise because he disappeared with the car. I couldn't get hold of him, and I have this attachment to what did he do to the car and everything. So then I started to look, pray to God and say, you have to help me to find this person because he has my car, and I couldn't do anything, although I know that he is around KL, nearby, but I don't know where he is. So I got a lot of ugly thoughts that came into my mind when I saw his Facebook posting that he got married, got kid, doing fine, but then he cannot just answer my text to say, what happened to my car and all that. So I have this going on. I have this turbulence in my mind. So, but luckily, as time passed, when I get more into spirituality, instead of, asking a prayer to like help him to pay or give back my car, I started to change my paradigm of thoughts. And then I started to pray to say, just let me let go of things. I don't want to have anything to do with it. And slowly I started to learn more and more with, with satsang, with groups like this, helps me to open up my mind, and also to the teachings of Bhagavan Baba, that I can slowly let go. And I finally felt that when I surrender fully, that things started to move. So at the end, he called, I managed to get hold of him, and he came to my house to give the key. And then when I saw his state, which is, he's quite embarrassed to come over to my place, because he also felt that he did wrong to me. But then I felt that a sudden wave of compassion, and I just thought, let's just end this. I do not need any more of this. And so I felt that by surrender completely, things will work out. So this gives me the that I have to pray more and have more faith in God, and then things will start moving, getting things better for me as well. So I felt happier at letting go. Yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Sister Sharon, for that lovely story. Would anyone like to comment on Sister's story?
Yeah, sister, I just want to ask you, Sharon, how long have you been in this satsang? When did you join?
I joined the first few days, and then I kind of in and out because I'm traveling. So
Okay.
I wasn't really consistent, but I'm in and out. So sorry to say that.
No problem. I just wanted to ask you, Ben. Second point is, when you say let go, what did you do? When you say I surrender, what is that surrender that you, can you please share with us how the surrender took place?
Okay. So basically, like, I gave like a car to my staff, right? And now he's my ex-staff. So when I said surrender, means like I expected him, because we did an agreement that he pays me monthly 200 ringgit, and until he pays everything, he gets the car, I will give him the grant. But because he failed to do so, I kept the grant. But at the same time, I didn't know what happened to the car, and the car is still in my name. So I was really worried. So when I first came into this satsang, I narrated this story, and then the brother and sister say, oh, I should go and report police and all that, but I also should learn how to let go and all that. And so after a while, I decided, instead of asking, where is the car, how much, when he pay me, and then I decided, even if I die, I won't be able to take the car with me, So I just thought, then there's nothing I need for this car anymore. I could have just let it go. So, and that's how I started to change my paradigm of my thought and think, that I should let go. I should just be compassionate about to him. Maybe he is in worse state than me. So that's why I thought, so when I let go, then I felt, I don't need anymore. Even if he come or don't come, it doesn't matter to me. That kind of thing. So when that happens, I felt lighter, I felt happier. I felt that I don't need to have any attachment anymore. And I want to just cut off the bad karma that I have with him.
The point is, this is a very good, this is a very, very good experience for all of us also. That is why I was emphasizing, because many of us sometimes can get locked in something, and our thoughts will just gravitate on what we have locked in, and we do not know how to come out of it. Then we go to God, and we'll go to temple, mosque, Gurudwara, church, mosque, and all that, and we continue to pray, but we don't know how to come out of it. Swami gave one formula, which is a real mantra. Swami said two things we must never forget: death and God. See, in your experience, you went back to that one point, Okay, what happens if I die? If I die, I can't take the car with me. See, that is a realization point. The moment we to such a point of realization, you see, automatically your next line of words were, I felt more compassionate. I felt more this. I felt more kind. So where is that compassion, kindness all coming from? From the Atmic level. So what keeps us at the top is that mind. The mind is like a monkey pot that puts the hand inside the pot to take out the banana. And then when he takes it out, the hunter is coming, but the monkey doesn't want to let the banana go. So he gets caught because he's dragging the pot. In the same manner, many of our things in our life, we get locked inside and we don't know how to let it go. So when we don't know how to let go, we carry all these things in our life and we just continue going to center. Yes, we will go to spiritual places and all that, but with this hand in our pot, and we will never get peace of mind. But you see, at the end of the solution, at the end of this problem, you found the solution. The water finds its own level. If we know how to let go and surrender, everything comes in your favor. Finally, the person who took the car came back to you. So this is the secret of what Bhagavan is telling us. This purpose of this satsang, the understanding of the scriptures, reading Bhagavan's letters, is to come to this identification of the self. In actual fact, what has happened is the mind is what that get entangled. So in this process, when you thought about God, when you thought about death, your system goes back to the self, the original self, which is all the definitions that Jenny sister read out just now. That is all the definition of the self. Self is this, self is that. And by experiencing that self, you get peace of mind, you get compassion, you get, and your results come back to you also. What a wonderful way to live in this world. This is the formula to live in this world. This is what ideal spiritual life is all about. Spiritual people should now untangle themselves from all these things and keep themselves in this phase so that the mind will have the opportunity to contemplate and experience higher and higher stages of bliss, sister. So we really thank you for sharing this beautiful message, and thank you for giving us the purpose of what satsang is all about, and letting us know the secret of life.
Yeah, thank you for how you say, summarizing it and elevate my stories to clearer picture for myself as well. Thank you so much.
We still remember when sister shared I think a few months back the story.
Yeah.
So though we were thinking on mind level, I said you must report to the police, because tomorrow if there's an accident or something, you will be held responsible. So we have to be a little bit practical also.
Yeah.
But we told her that you let it go, because as it is, the car is becoming old and you will not be able to use it.
Mm.
So I am thankful that sister is sharing today that the car has come back.
Yeah.
And
thank you so much.
It's such a good thing to that how spirituality and our satsang help her to get back to the normalcy. And now the car has also come back. That's the God's grace.
I would like to add also, I think this sounds silly, but when I was there, looking at my depleted car, is sitting by the roadside. Half the window is open, all the dust, the lalang, the red chew on the bucket seats, I have good, nice racing seats, and I have rust. And then I said a small prayer and I said, please forgive me. I treated it like a being. As I said, please forgive me for leaving you here, because I don't know what else to do, because to tow the car back, to take it to the car yard, it's going to cost me money. So I said, please forgive me. I hope you have a better life in the future. Okay. And to add to this, a few days after this, probably God has answered my prayer. I was talking to one of my gym coach, and he was talking about refurbishing new old cars. And I showed him my car, and he said, oh, that's a very nice car. And I said, well, you could have it if you restore it, take it, tow it, and give all the love that you have. And this is what happened. So he took the car, it's now in his possession, and he's trying to restore it. So everybody's happy. So my staff doesn't have the burden. My friend has a new toy, and I just felt that my car, has a new life now.
Thank you, sister. Thank you. Thank you so much. Very nice story. So,
Thank
Jean-
you.
Jean, carry on.
Actually, Sister Sherin is quite new to our satsang, and we're very surprised that being so new, her spiritual level is so high. Very wonderful, Sister Sherin. Thank you for being with us and teaching us a lot of things. Thank you. So all right. So we move on with our sharing.
Sister Jenny is raise her hand. I think she'd like to speak. She'd like to share.
Oh, somebody wants to speak, right? Okay, sure.
Sister Jenny, yeah.
Sairam, my loving Sairams to everybody. Thank you, Brother Suresh and our sister. What a wonderful example, a practical example of how you can actually address something that can disturb your inner peace. I just want to share something that, in spite of all our understanding and trying to sort of make sure that we resonate with Swami's teachings in our day-to-day life, I found myself in a situation with one of our centers. Actually, it was a center where I began my journey with Swami, where there was a certain amount of negativity. And I sort of got quite invested in it, and I couldn't understand why I was going through this kind of feeling about it. And then I just prayed, and like our sister said, when you surrender to Swami and you look to yourself, the God within you, for the answer, a clear message came to me, and the message was, don't expend your energy on negativity. In a sense, Swami has already removed whatever the problem was, and therefore you need to get on with spreading the love and understanding. I thought I would like to share that with everybody, because even though this was a very beautiful practical example that our sister shared with us, but it can manifest, this kind of negativity can manifest with fellow devotees in a one-on-one, or in a group, or within a center and in the country. So it is so important to relate back to the self. Sairam.
Sairam, Jenny. Thank you so much. Sairam.
Sairam. So, all right, we can move on. All right. So myself, I shared, atheist believes in a God and loves God and is able to see the godly nature in others. Thus, he's able to love others. Atheism, on the other hand, is about the assertion of separateness, selfishness, and the denial of love. This magnifies the differences between a theist and an atheist, where a theist is able to feel oneness with all and uphold Swami's dictum of love is God, God is love, and atheist is not able to do the same. So these are the differences between an atheist and a theist. So yeah, I think it's simple. So maybe we will move on to Brother Manoj. Brother Manoj again.
Sairam, sister.
Sairam.
I think I just read it what you have written. In Hindu spirituality, when rishis are asked, what is God? Is it white in color? They said neti, neti. No. Is it like table? Neti, neti. Is it like this? Is it like that? Neti, neti. Before mind has got a limited capacity, because mind has got limited capacity to think. We see, hear, smell, taste, and touch with the 5 senses, the indriyas. Anything which is fixed in our criteria of knowledge, we like to compare. When all questions are asked about what God is, the Rishi will say, no, no, no. When everything of your mind can explain is not, the Rishis will say that all the definitions vanish. That remains, and what remains is God. So it is not I. It is a little puzzling, but this is what the scriptures say about it. So this is what about God has been described in our scriptures. And it's very difficult to comprehend, because he's formless, he's got no qualities, he's got no any type of abbreviations like which our mind can give. And basically what happens, when the mind finishes all his argument, and then what remains is what is called God. So this is what my definition I must have spoken that time to Sister Saira.
Sairam, thank you, brother. And would anyone like to add on to this? Dr. Suresh?
Saram. Yeah, Saram
Oh.
sister.
Yes.
Project. So actually, Brother Manas for out the nitty. I think a lot of people know Ramana Maharshi, his method of meditation is nitty. So nitty means I'm not this, I'm not that. So when you meditate, when you close your eye, whatever thought come, you said nitty. Or you can say in English, I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not this. What happened was, if you continue this closing eye and then just ask, who am I? Whatever thoughts come, it's not real. It's not important. And what happened? In the end, even the nitty will dissolve itself, and the thought will dissolve itself, and that nothingness, you will experience the silent, the bliss. So this nitty is always used in Ramana Maharshi meditation. So what Brother Manoj used here is similar, but he didn't talk about meditation, but this is one of the very famous meditation method, Sairam.
Okay, thank you, Brother James. Anyone else?
Actually, one more thing about this niti thing is that is why some people, when they do the meditation, they can't go far because they always want to understand what they know. So it is important to let go, but always they feel that everything has to be within the realm of what they can recognize, what they have appreciated, or what they have understood. It is in this dimension that we want to remain. So when you go beyond the dimension of comprehension and explain, it is a bit nervous. There's a little element of nervousness. There's a little element of uncertainty and everything else. And people do not like to experience uncertainty, nor they like to experience the unknown. So they remain within this. And when you remain within a realm, we can't go deeper. This is the reason why this neti meditation is very critical, because in order to experience something, we have to go away from what you have already experienced. So they say a boat is safe in the port, but that's not what boats are meant for. So we need to let go of the shore from where the boat has come from in order to find new frontiers. So in order to experience new experiences, new dimensions, you have to let everything that you know go. In the Dasha Slokas of Adi Shankara, perhaps the only document, I may be presumptuous, but the only document that is in this planet that has actually connoted what merger means, where the teacher was asked at the point of his merger, at the point of his liberation, he was asked, what is it that you are experiencing? Because when you are trying to explain what you are experiencing, you need to use words, and words come from speech. So speech comes from thoughts. But when you're merging, there is no more thoughts. That's why people who have merged and people who have transcended have no documentation of their experiences. So you only have pointers to meditation, but you do not have experience of what that transcendence means, because nobody has the ability to express that. In Adi Shankara's point, in which the river was almost merging with the ocean, it is at that point the devotee asked, what is it like? So from this point, with the slightest and the smallest mind available to him, he narrated that experience. And that experience which he narrated is called Dasha Slokas of this merger. So one of that statement which he mentioned was, he said that of all the things you know, of all the books you have read, of all the knowledge that you have gained, there is nothing compared to what you must know, or you will know, or you can know. So it is like what we have read and understood and experienced is just a the slightest tip of the iceberg. The huge big iceberg we have not experienced, So sometimes when we get dogmas, when we get into confusion and we argue and so many things, it's just with a fraction of that knowledge. 99% we don't know. We haven't experienced. So this neti is this is not that experience. This is not that one. This which I am supposed to know is what I'm supposed to be proceeding towards. Which Bhagavan, in nice signature, like a signature, he writes in a thing, love my uncertainty. My God, that's powerful. When you love my uncertainty, that means I'm not going to conform. I'm not going to be on a stable thing. Everything can be shaky. Everything can be, unless we can come to this kind of experience, we cannot move forward. So in meditation next time, when you sit down and we close your eyes and you let yourself go, we must not allow any reference point from our what we know from the previous one to come and haunt us or to come and judge us or to come and invoke us or provoke us. It has to be completely let go, like as if you're floating like that. Then you find that the experiences become very real and very genuine. This, I tell you honestly, of all the letters, this one letter, if you read this letter, keep on reading and understanding, this one letter can open many doors, because all the definition that Bhagavan has said is here. That means to say this entire journey is about experiencing the self. And Swami in that letter wrote about what is that self in very detailed expression. So every line, self, there is no me, there's no thought. What do you mean by that? What do you mean by that? You have to argue mentally with Swami's thing, and then boom, the door will open up. And then you'll get the glimpses and flashes. So this is a beautiful experience. This is a nice letter. And this is what the depth of this neti part of it that goes into its meditation.
Thank you.
Sister Kasturi raise a hand.
Kasturi, Sister Kasturi Chetty.
Om Sai Ram, brothers and sisters. Brother Suresh, that was lovely, you sharing about meditation, because most of the time we're thinking about what we should do and we're not really meditating. I'm glad you shared that. My question is, firstly, I joined a little late, so I don't know which letter we are referring to. If I could please have that reference, then I could look it up and read it. And the second question I have is, once I know Brother Arvind had shared, he was sitting with Swami and watching something on the TV. They had done a presentation, and he asked Swami, can atheists also attain moksha? And Swami said yes. So I'm just trying to figure this out, because here we're speaking about atheists that cannot, in a negative sense, I'm trying to see what Swami said and trying to marry the two things together. And when I heard that, I thought of Buddha, because I know Buddha, we didn't believe in God. He was an, well, in inverted commas, atheist, but he had attained moksha as well. So if you could please explain this to me.
See, the 8-year-old child has not too much travel into the forest. The problem with the self is that because we have lived in this world, we have been conditioned by the world, but we have been put into culture, taught so many different things. We went too deep into the forest and we got identified with the mind, which gave us an identification of who am I, and continued to believe that this is who I am, this is what I am. And we defined our existence by the identification that we ourselves bestowed upon ourselves. In other words, we put on ourselves all the chains and all the we bound ourselves so tight, and then we are not able to come out. So Bhagavan must be waiting there, waited. Why are these guys not coming back to me? Where are they? So the teacher himself decided, okay, I better come down. So he came down, and now in his injunctions and prayers and continuous suggestions and advice, now try to unchain ourselves, because we are the makers of the chain that bind us. Swami said that. So when we unchain ourselves slowly, taking us from the forest, leading us, guiding us, helping us to reach back to the core. The 8-year-old child did not travel too far into the forest, because in his previous life itself, he must have accumulated all the good things in himself, and the spirit must be very, very, Atma must be extremely high-natured, strong-natured. So when a strong-natured, high-natured, high-evolved soul of that nature, he did not need to know even this neti-neti. He must be already experiencing that experience of it all. The reason why we go into this neti-neti is because our mind has become so conditioned by so many things in the world. We are actually living an imaginative world. This, whatever that we are imagining, dimensions, whatever that we have imagined. So this all in our imaginations. We have contorted the whole truth and continue to believe in that. Which is why Bhagavan said in Monsoon Showers Part 1, he mentioned this, that one of the main reasons why this is not happening is because Bhagavan said there are 4 things that we must come into the being. And one of them is that we must have continuous steadfast dedication, which is called Shraddha. Second part, he said that we must develop a rhythm, which is the Trikarna Shuddhi, heart, head, and hands must be aligned. These 2 must come together. When these 2 is together, what is it? What are you aligned to? You must be aligned to Satyam. So that means the truth must always be there. We must always adhere not to relative truth, which is why during the bhajans you say Asatoma Sadgama. So from unreal lead me to unreal, from the untruth lead me to truth. What do you mean by that? We means we must move away from the relative truths and reach the highest truth. The highest, every day we must remove and go to higher truth until the highest truth is experienced, and then we become truth itself. Then Baba said, after the truth part, then we say the only way to do this is the highest control of senses, which is yoga. Then Baba said, when these 4 things are together, the 5th energy will rise in us, which is called Mahatar Shakti. These 5 aspects will come. Only when these 5 elements are fused together will we develop Buddhi Shakti. And Buddhi Shakti, therefore, is the key that opens this self. This what we call this Atma, this window, this door will open up. Which is the reason why every journey of our spiritual journey is to enter into this experience. So these are the ingredients that Bhagavan has given us and for us to develop. The technique is meditation. So now the truth is what we now need to, what is the ultimate truth? What is the ultimate? So the mind must continuously be possessed by this quest and zeal to reach the truth. Then we move away from that identification that we ourselves has put upon ourselves. It is in this process that we can achieve a higher state of realization. Then you find everything goes in line, everything goes, so even when some problems comes to us or certain circumstances comes to us, don't forget we also did quite a few things in the past, so all that past things all will come. But now you are standing on the steady bank, you will not be swept away. It'll come, it'll look at you, you look back at it, you respond if you can respond, and intelligently walk through. We need not be swarmed by it, we need not be engulfed by it, we will not be sucked into it. That kind of steadiness is what our devotee must develop. Then you find that the mind is available for higher and higher contemplation, and we will be able to become better and more effective instruments for Bhagavan. So this is how this whole process of satsang, this bhajan, this seva, and this jnana, all these things go together so that we can reach God in faster. 8-year-old child need not go through this particular process. Enlightenment may be there because they must have already accumulated all these aspects and reached a very sharp. Even that in the Mahabharata, there's one to Ashtatakara, the boy who's walking into the thing which is 8 bend. He's so young, but he's so knowledgeable and so high in his wisdom. And he was given a particular chapter in which he commented on the court, and he told they were laughing at him for the knowledge, but he then said, he remarked in such a way how the spirit is much higher than the body and all that. So many such stories are there. Age has got nothing to do with enlightenment.
Yeah, just to answer sister's question that she's saying that atheist. I think if you read the Swami's letter, he says that even a little bit of selfishness we are atheist. A person who is theist is only who realizes selflessness. Then only, if you read the lines of the letter, it is very clear what you're saying, that how atheist can become atheist. Theist is because the moment the selfishness is removed, the more and more we remove, the more we are inclined towards God, and our atheism goes. So practically, as per this letter, everybody of us here are atheist, as per the Swami's wording. If you can read the letter, I think it will be clear, sister.
One more thing, sister, you're coming from which part of is it Mauritius?
No, South Africa.
No, did you get the study cycle guides, the Guru Purnima we sent to everybody? Have you got it?
Yes, I did
So
receive that.
these letters are in that document.
Oh,
We are just going through that document. Letters, yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. And thank you for answering the question, Brother Suresh and Brother.
Can I share something?
Yes, please.
Yeah, sister was asking that question. Can atheists become enlightened or self-realized? To Swami, so I say yes. I think being atheist doesn't mean his whole life atheist, you know. I think in real life, there are people who go to a lot of suffering and then they turn towards guru, spiritual healing, and then slowly they come to God. That is one of the way. The other way is timing. Timing means time for you to be enlightened, you know. Guru will call you or God will call you. This thing can happen in real life, right? I think we heard of this type of story. Doesn't the atheist means totally don't believe in God? Wait till when the person goes to suffering, he got no other alternative except maybe to see Guru or pray to God. This is very commonly happen. These are one of the changes. Then the second question is sister talk about Buddha doesn't talk about God. It's true, not much. Although Buddhism now got there are different sects. Some believe in God, some don't believe in God, right? But then in my early years when I looked into this, what happened was I think where I read it or maybe I realized it, you know, that you know, India, a lot of people suffer, a lot of people are very poor because they put everything, oh, it is God's will, and they don't do anything, you know. So in that time, I think I read in the book where this author say, what happened was Buddha don't want the Hindu people to everything leave it to God, everything, you know, they are not doing anything, you know, leave it to God, you know. So Buddha teach another way where he doesn't talk about God, but he talk about the foundation of life. You know, you build up, you take care of your family, take care of the, you know, your career, everything. Don't rely on God. And then the way to succeed in life and all that, and then so towards enlightenment. So it's another way of I think you call it reverse psychology or something. I don't know whether I can use the word reverse psychology. Without God, you still can reach God. You know, something like that. That's what I know.
Yeah, the Buddha actually taught self-reliance. Yeah. So
And
yes.
like what James said also very true, because this Ratnakara was a totally not at all this. Then finally one day he became Valmiki. So everybody has got that time in which the fruit becomes ripe now. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for all the very important lessons. Yeah, so when Swami talk about this self, is the big S self. So I'm asking whether this big S self is pure consciousness itself, as in God's pure consciousness. Maybe Brother Suresh?
No, there's a small self and the big self. See, that's why Baba mentioned I am I, you know, you remember that thing where I am I am I. So that I, that small I, is asserting that this small I is the big I. So actually what is the difference is that big I is the universal, that heightened consciousness, which is God, because this is what Swami is telling, you are God, you are God, you are God. But now at this present moment, I cannot feel that I'm God, but I'm asserting that I'm God, so that I continue to move in that direction. But then what is blocking that? The word AM, you know, that AM is an assertion factor, which what is asserting me? What is asserting? That is where the A and M. M is the Maya, A is the Anam, the ego. So these two things, ego and illusion, ego and the Maya, is together blocking me from realizing that. So all our sadhana in this world is to reduce this AM so that the I can merge with the big I, the merger. So this is what this whole aspect is the universal consciousness, the heightened consciousness, the supreme, the ocean. So that means to say my river now must reach that ocean in which I lose all my identity from where I have come from, who I am and what I am and so on. All that goes through. So if I know I have to reach this stage of my evolution, I must move towards that direction. So then I become, I don't get caught in concepts and ideas and ideology and all that, but it helps me to reach a state in which everything happens. So that universal consciousness is what we must now develop. That is why when we are reading so much Swami's literature, if you pick up a text, Islamic text or Christian text and Buddhist text, we must also be equally comfortable with all these teachings, because we are the people who can equate with the universality of that teaching there. Whereas others will be caught in the river, we will enjoy the beauty of the ocean. And this is that's why Satyasai devotees, that's why Swami said, I have come to foster the roots of all religion. What does it mean? It means that all the religions are leading. So I feel happy in every religious practice. I know what Islam is. I know what Christianity is saying. So I enjoy everything in this world without restricting and without limitation. This universality is what that big, huge I is all about. And that is what my small I is moving towards.
Okay, thank you. Wonderful. Brother Manoj again. Brother. Actually, Brother Manoj was commenting on what this question about the big self. So yeah, Brother Manoj.
Yeah, I think it's, yes, just like electricity is invisible, God is invisible super consciousness. It is beyond any words, it is beyond any attributes, any description. Something that is beyond our capacity or imagination, that is God. God is a self where everybody is part of it. So if there is only one, who is there to love? Hence, it is the self that loves without the thought of self, because love is a self as affection. This is what a Swami's wordings in the paragraph says. So it's about love. But what was cues to feel sad or feel good. Whether somebody says good, we feel very happy, and somebody says bad, we feel very miserable. But if we start loving ourselves, our character, our this thing, then what happens that we are not affected and we remain happy all the time. That's the main crux of it. So this is what talks about that loving self is the, and then what happens once you are in that position, then the person who has told something bad, since it is not affected you, you will start loving him. Somebody has told good also, you start loving him. And that's how your love expands. And this is what Swami used to tell, that expansion of love is the most important thing in life. Sairam.
Sairam, thank you. All right. Okay, in the Jyoti meditation, we end with repeating the following affirmation 3 times. I'm in the light. The light is in me. I am the light. We say this 3 times. So when we are immersed in this last state of I am the light, love without the thought of self takes place. And this is the moment we are in union with God, the real self, in wordless meditation. Swami said wordless meditation. So is this reasoning correct? Would anyone like to comment on this?
Yeah, once you become light means
Union with God.
Union with God. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Feel that.
Yes. All right. So, okay, we
Right.
move on. Sorry.
The real self is the wordless meditation. So in another expression means when you practice meditation, when you reach the level of meditation, when you reach, okay, it's actually you experience the silence, the bliss, which is you can't describe, you can't talk about it. It's just an experience, you know. By the time you know that you are at the silent or bliss level, you already out already. You already come back to the body already. So, so this wordless meditation, that's why when many of these disciple or devotee want to ask enlightened guru and all that, besides the spiritual knowledge, when you ask higher, where it is beyond the meditation, when you reach the meditation level, you ask any question that is beyond the mind, the guru will not answer you because you have no words to describe. Only that you reach level and experiencing yourself. That's why many guru will keep quiet. No matter how much you ask, they will just keep quiet because it's beyond the mind. You can't answer, you can't describe. Silent.
Yeah, it's like a bit like how the Dr. Chin saying, the way that is spoken of is not the way. It's something that you have to experience yourself. Yes.
Yeah, that's how it is, correct.
So we have Brother Manoj again on wordless meditation. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Dr. Jumsai's story that as a NASA scientist, he participated in NASA's space project in the design of the automatic landing device on Mars. And he was very frustrated because he couldn't find the answer. So he wanted to give up his life, but then he decided that he would go to the top of the hill in the US to meditate on this and resolve. And he resolved to stay there until the solution was. On the third day, he could suddenly imagine that how the full circuitry should be. What happened was that in the meditation, deep meditation, he lost his own self and the knowledge dawned on him. The knowledge was there all the time. He just needed to be connected. So this wordless meditation is what this was about, a connection with the super consciousness of God, a union with divine that gave the aha moment which provided the answer. A few years back also, we in Bangkok, we tried to do prolonged meditation of 6 to 8 hours, where those people who could sit for a longer time, they could sit. Otherwise, they can walk silently and just a dark room, and we sat down with the light in front of us. And after 6 or 7 hours, we ended the meditation. It so happened that none of us felt that we should talk, what was the experience, what was the thought. We just bowed to each other and we went back home with a lot of joyous feeling from within. So I was just thinking that how these people in a long meditation, they could have enjoyed the silence, and they don't want to express because they don't want to come in the worldly noise and talk about it, because the joy is so full and powerful that they don't want to do this. So this, I mean, we could feel that this is what the wordless meditation will be. That these rishis and all, I've heard that people have meditated for years and years. Even the body has decimated into eaten by the ants and everything, but they kept on that meditative state. So this is what is this meditation. It's our connection with the higher self, and the body loses its grip on us. Even the pain, even all the worldly things have no effect on our body. So this is an amazing thing which we all are thriving, but I don't know how far we'll be reaching the worldly life. But at least we should be able to prolong our meditation so that we can remain happy, we can remain unattached, and we can love more and more people.
Thank you. Okay. Yeah.
But I just want to make one comment, brother. You see, the thing is, actually, we are already progressing. If we are not progressing, the fact is, you see, we are thinking that there should be one light, we are already imagining a stage of enlightenment, and we seem to be wanting to move to a destination or direction. but that may not be the experience. The experience is there. Look, all in normal, let's say 10 years ago, or even 5 years ago, probably we will not be sitting like this so patiently. We will not be sitting for 3 years, 3.5 years. I don't think we will have the commitment or even the patience to sit, understand, explore. 15 years ago, I don't know whether we would have explored this particular text in this manner, in this intensity. I don't think so. So the point is, actually, God is is already working his way out. And through our years of bhajan, seva, this, that, everything else, we're coming to a subtle point in which we are spent 1.5 hours and we are enjoying the process and enjoying the experience, enjoying the company of everyone. This in itself is already experiencing the divine, because it is not easy to sit and enjoy. It is difficult. That's why in sessions like this, you'll find that the more and more subtle you go, the more and more deeper you go to the parts of the ocean, there will be fewer and fewer people, which is one of the things that rishis have said. When you're climbing the spiritual mountain, you must also be prepared to experience and enjoy solitude, because there'll be very fewer people on the top of the mountain. So we all are in the process, and we are enjoying this enlightenment process also. This itself is the process. This is the experience. We must not state that there is something else other than this, because we feel that we must enjoy every moment of this experience. I think this is what this self thing is all about. Otherwise, the mind will interfere in our experiences and indicate that there is something else, and then it keeps on giving that inadequacy and all that, So this is an experience by itself, the spiritual experience itself. And you see how the teacher 50 years ago, when he came, bhajan, Putta Prashanti Nilayam, then we go there, then we do the ceremony. So it's already a lot of pruning has taken place in our mind. He has already taken the scissors and cut a lot of unwanted branches, unwanted trees, unwanted bushes, and the tree is more or less okay. Now we are just using our existence to move to the next level.
Yes, brother, I totally agree with you. Just to tell you the incident yesterday, what happened, that we were in a meeting.
Yeah.
And suddenly my wife opened one video that something was happening in one of the aeroplane from Australia. And the aeroplane has to be brought back because this man was shouting about, do you believe in Allah or something like that? And I think there was a big chaos. So when I got up in the morning, a thought came that if I'm caught up in that situation, what will I do? So I thought that my duty is to and safe.
Yeah.
So I thought of a plan that go from behind, pull that person's leg and let him fall, and people just stand and stamp it. So morning, after the meditation, this thought kept on moving, and then I felt very miserable. Why I'm thinking some violence in them. So suddenly I was reminded of a story which Arvind said once, that there was a student who was sitting in the veranda, and he was from royal family, and somebody had cheated the family and taken away all the wealth. So this boy is sitting in the veranda, and this thought is coming, and he's literally so angry that he's boxing that boy mentally. Suddenly what happened, the door opens and Swami comes and stands in front of him and shouts, "What you're doing? Get up." This boy suddenly gets up, and Swami calls him inside and asks, "What you're doing?" He said, "No, Swami, I was very agitated with the incident, and I was thinking I will kill that person."
Ayo.
So that was a state of mind I was having with so much of hatred. But then Swami consoled him. He says, "See, whenever this sort of thought comes, you're creating your karma, and you're trying, because by thought you're killing somebody. So how to deal with that?" And he says, "Swami, how to deal with it? Because the thought has come in my mind, and I was doing, and those sitting in front of you, very close to you. Swami said, next time this thought comes, just imagine that Swami is standing at the end of the hill where you're going to push him. And then what happens? Next time this thought came to this boy, and he imagined Swami or a small child standing on the cliff and he's trying to push. Suddenly, that thought of anger went back, and we became very, very, very peaceful. So this is what I just remembered the story and said, my God. When Swami is just 2 days back, I read about this story, and this is what I'm have to use in practical way to use it. And the moment I remember that, if suppose there was Swami would do it, or suppose there was a small child would push him, to think of the opposite, which is more powerful and more loving, then these thoughts will leave your grip on you, and then you become peaceful. So this is what I'm saying, that this thought, it just came the story I learned few days back, I heard. And today morning, this thought came, and I was really agitated, because we are warrior class. We are supposed to defend people, and that thought came that if this happens, nobody will stand. I should stand and help the people to save from this person. And then said, this person is not there. I don't know. I just heard in the WhatsApp message and this video, why I'm getting so agitated. And this suddenly I brought back that story, and my agitation went off, and I became peaceful. Just to share that this is what happened in the morning.
No, I think this one is a very, very powerful tool. We need to remember this. This is a very nice tool to remember whenever we get a thought. So number one, we at the thought level should not be violent or think of violence, because it has karmic repercussion. Number two, Bhagavan has given us a solution also. In case we think of something like this, then the methodology that Brother Manoj has shared, I think this is an answer to all our thoughts that can arise. Very nice. So these are all very, very good nuggets.
Yeah, we are very blessed that with this satsang, our spiritual journey, our meditation journey is a journey that is very steadily building up for us. I think we're all learning so much. Thank you so much. All right, so we move on. So Swami, in Swami's letter, he said, it is the self that does not judge but evaluates. It does not compare, does not seek security of any kind, does not see even itself. It is the self that has completely absorbed itself. And yet, in a strange and mystical fashion, it is ever more itself, more complete and more real than it has ever been. This is the real self. So, and Brother Manoj has some comments on this, brother.
I think the small self will judge, the big self evaluates. Everything is created by the same God, so there's nothing to judge who is bad or good. In evaluating, we are not comparing, we are not judging. It's like you're walking on a path, you are some 100 miles away from a goal. There is no judgment that you are slow or fast, just an evaluation that, oh, you are here, oh, I am here. Just like that, the self doesn't judge. It just evaluates. If a thing is small, it's big. That's why it is, or why. That's why I always like compare that somebody 8 marks, somebody 100% right. But later on, after coming to spirituality, I think that why I'm comparing myself with somebody who is less or somebody less than 100. My goal should be 100%, and I should compare with the 100%. And that is what Swami used to say, that children have got 90%. This is why there is 10% less. This is what the evaluation is, that how far we are from our goal. That is what is more important than comparing that I'm here and you are there. It means we are separating ourselves from other, that he is behind, he is ahead of us. That's what
All right. So actually, as Sister Sharon was supposed to share the story, but she shared it already. So we shall move. Yeah, actually, I found that Swami Sarvapriyananda has got a very good talk on this thing about the self, So I will just very quickly read through this. All right. He said the self is not the body. We make the first and fatal error to think that the self is the body. The body cannot be without attachment because it is affected by everything outside: food, shelter, clothes, and whatever is in the physical environment, even like viruses. So with the body, it's impossible to say, I'm detached to the world. And when we still have this body, it's impossible to say, I'm detached to the world. It is not the body when we say, I am. It is not even the mind, for the mind is very much attached. What happens to the body affects the mind. Sickness and pain affects the body and the mind. Behavior of other people affects the mind. Our own success and failures affect the mind. So the self without attachment will not apply to the mind or the body. The self without attachment will not apply to the mind or the body. It applies to the witness consciousness that is, I am unattached. I am unattached. And he said, I'm aware of the mind, I'm aware of the body, and through the body and the mind, I'm aware of the world. But it is the I, the awareness, which is unattached to the world, the body, and the mind. So how am I awareness? How am I consciousness? I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. I am the witness of the body and the mind, the witness of the body and the mind. So notice and discern ourselves as awareness apart from the body-mind, aware of the body-mind, using the body-mind and interacting with the world, but detached from all of them. And he said, awareness is not attached. The technical term for Advaita Vedanta Upadi is when something is present near something else and appears to transfer its quality onto that something else. An example, he said, is holding a red flower against a clear crystal. On the other side, the crystal looks red. Put a yellow flower, the crystal looks yellow. Put a pink flower, the crystal looks pink. Even when it looks red or yellow or pink, the crystal is actually clear. So in exactly the same way, I am, the awareness, when the body is present and I'm not aware of myself as the body, nor of myself as consciousness, just like the crystal becomes identified with the red color. I am, this awareness becomes identified with the body, and I feel I am the body. Here, the body and mind obscures the true self, which in Vedanta word is called upadi. So thoughts, feelings, perceptions in the mind seem to put themselves in the clear crystal of awareness. And this I amness becomes pervaded as if by the mind. I'm happy, I'm miserable, I'm in pain. All of these are transferred onto the entity. The red color of the flower looks as if it is transferred, but not really transferred. It appears so only. So similarly, awareness itself, which is I am, now appears like I am a body, I am a mind. So the body and mind appears, and they appear to transfer their qualities. I'm tall, I'm short, I'm skinny. These are qualities of the body. I am, the awareness, is not tall. So how can consciousness be tall or thin? How can consciousness be overweight or skinny? At no time am I all of this, though they appear. I, the consciousness, is asanga, meaning unattached. So this is the nature of the self, which is our topic, as I learned from Swami Sarvapriyananda's talk. So yeah, so any comments on this?
So how to comment, Swamiji comment. So,
Yeah.
but I feel this text, sister, is it possible for you to put it in the chat box or send it or copy it, send it to everybody, because these are very powerful lines also. It'll be good reference material for us also.
I can actually send the video itself and they can listen to it. Would that be better?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you send this text and the video.
Oh, okay. This text I extract, it is not, a transcript. It is just, picking up some points. So I hope it's okay. Yeah. All right. I think Brother Sabitan raised his hand.
Sabitan.
Yeah, Saram sister, just to add on to the I am. Actually, I am, the awareness itself is one of the easiest way we can come to a true nature of existence, our presence itself. The whole confusion of duality happens because that we tend to identify with something, and when you find, and this is an invitation to everyone actually, when you find some quiet time by yourself and you sit down, and you may want to close your eyes or leave your eyes open, it does not matter so much, and just in your thoughts, in your mind, just say I am. Have a thought of I am, and immediately tune into the feeling of what I am is in the moment. So I am can never run away from the moment itself. So every time you say I am, you come back to what is. So you keep on doing this as a form of meditation, and you relax into the moment, then you will realize that there is no difference between what is inside the body and outside the body, what is within the chair, outside the chair. Everything is exactly the same. I am is your true state. Our true nature is I am. So when if you have time, experiment on this, and every time you do this, of course the resistance will come. The resistance will come from the ego, which is a limited self, and the small s. So when the ego comes, it will give you, oh no, you are so and so, you are the managing director of this company, you are the doctor working in this hospital, and I have this worries, that worries, everything will come. The moment it comes, acknowledge the presence of that is there, it doesn't matter, and immediately, and go back to the thought of I am, and similarly try to find that feeling in the present moment of I am. And once you are established, meaning you might not get it the first time, you might not get it the second time, even in a week you might be still confused about the entire feeling of I am. But if you keep on doing it, there will come a time you will get established in I am. When you are established in I am, it is similar to what Ramana Maharishi said, the neti, not me, not this, not this. So similarly, when you say not this or not me, right? When you say not me in neti, immediately the me, when you say not me, immediately your mind goes to yourself. And you keep on denying and denying every single belief that comes. And when you say not me, immediately you go to yourself and you realize that this is very blissful state. So you keep on denying. Similarly, I am and not me. The me in not in neti, or not when you translate it to English, the me in neti or not me, and the I am and is it is the similar all-pervading self. And you may even want to experiment it, whether when you close your eyes and you open your eyes and you do the I am, and you see whether is it the same feeling that you feel all over entire, and you go out in the mountains or in the forest or wherever you are and say I am. So once you establish in the I am, and you test it out and you experiment over the I am in different places or even in your practice, it's not very difficult for you to experience the silence, the bliss, and whatnot, and we've been speaking of so far, Sarah.
Thanks, Sabitan. Thank you. Very nice. That's also a third empowerment we should do. Anything else, Dini?
Yeah, actually we do. I think we are running out of time, so I don't know whether we should carry on or not.
No, Jane, don't finish. because we want to go through this again next week. Because this is so deep, we cannot finish this in one time. I like even people from the other groups who are not given this letter. I will seriously suggest that we go through this letter again. Every line we contemplate, and I really hope next week when we come back, everyone, if you can try and comment on what was your experience in reading that and what is your insight that you gain, because every line has got an opening. So what is your impression of that line? Because then we can really explore Swami's letter, because whatever said and done, it is going back to Atma, and he has defined it so beautifully well. We cannot afford to allow this to miss, because there is a lot of insights in this letter. So next week we'll continue, sister. We'll start with you when you finish up, then we'll ask others to comment.
Okay.
Okay. And, the other thing I just want to ask is, for those of you who have joined for this satsang for the first time, especially from Africa, Mauritius and all that, I just want to ask your comment. What did you feel today's satsang? How was your experience? Can anybody comment? Can anybody say? And then Billy, I'd like to share something.
Sairam, Brother Suresh, and the organizers, I do want to thank you very much for inviting South Africa. We did circulate it amongst our devotees, but I think it's the middle of working hours here in South Africa, so you've got a limited response from our devotees. But it is it's very meaningful. And I think it was brilliant, and we really do appreciate being invited. And hopefully we can definitely catch up on the sessions that we missed. And this was most enjoyable and very enlightening. Thank you very much, Sairam.
Thank you, sister. And you're more than welcome. Please ask others. I know your timing will be about 4:30 or 5. It is a little bit into your thing, but if you can join, because if we can't push a bit later, because it will be eating into our time, but if you can just join us every week, it will be very nice to have all your inputs as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Suresh, Nusrat has raised his hand.
Yes, Nusrat. Billy, can you just stop the share and then let me share something?
Okay, all right.
No, I will stop the share.
Okay, sorry.
All right.
Sorry, yeah, I will stop.
Nusrat?
Loving Sairam, it's Sister Nusrat from Mauritius. Thank you so much for this opportunity for us to join this uplifting and enriching session. It's our battery is fully charged and waiting for the next week. Thank you so much, Brother Suresh, Govin and team. Sairam.
Thank you, Nusrat. Anybody else from anybody else who are here in that group? Anyone wants to say something?
I think if they want, we can send the recordings after 1 week or something, if anybody is interested.
Billy, just allow me to share something. Make me a co-host.
Sure. Okay, just give me a minute.
One last thing I just want to share. I thought this was very nice. I thought I should.
Okay, wait, just give me 1 minute.
That's one last message, and then we all can go off. Can you?
Can just another 2 seconds. Okay, yeah. Okay, you're co-host now. Right.
Okay. So I'd like you just to see this one, which is very nice. I thought this is very good, and maybe we can just talk about it. See, this is an excellent message for all. Birth is given by others. Can you share? Can you see?
We can see, you can put to display mode, Suresh.
Okay. Okay. Birth is given by others. Name is given by others. Income is given by others. Respect is given by others. First and the last bath will be given by others. After death, your property and belongings will be taken by others. Funeral service will be done by others. Still, we wonder why we have these unnecessary ego problems in life. Let us all simplify our life and love and live with others peacefully. I thought this was a very cute message that I just got, so I thought I will share with you. So with these few words, thank you so much for such a beautiful, inspiring session. We await till next week, where we'll meet again. Thank you all. Sairam.
Thank you, Sairam.
Thank you, Sairam, and good night.
So Suresh, can you wait for some time?
Sairam.
Yes, I can.
Sairam, thank you so much.
Sairam, sister. Sairam, brother.
Sairam, everyone. Thank you.
Sairam, thank you, everyone.
Hi, Ram. Thank you.
Hi, Ram. Thank you.
Hi, Ram. Thank you.
Sairam, thank you.
Thank you, Sairam.
Is Hema also there?
I don't see her.
No, the thing was that we are supposed to send a letter to the NCPs or something like that, and this thing. So, but is there any changes in the program we have to do or something like that? Because once it goes to them, it will be difficult.
Yeah, if the program is slightly changed, it's only on the timing, brother. But the content method will be the same. You know, the walking, remember we were discussing about the walking and all that.
Yeah.
So
can we do it tomorrow, Wednesday meeting, the program, so that we can send the letters?
Yes.
And can you send me the emails of few facilitators? So that
Oh yeah. Okay, I forgot to do that. Okay, I'll do
yeah,
it.
no problem. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
So right now I'm feeling the time is becoming short and shorter.
Oh yeah, now we are now in the panic button mode, brother.
Yes. Guys, I think our spiritual and other things, it will go on the 30th, and the youth and the education also we have to ask. So their presentation, we can do it on Sunday or something, or what do you feel, Brother Billy?
Okay, because Sunday morning 9 a.m. Brother, we have got our exco meeting here.
Okay.
So I told Subhash he was supposed to do in morning, but I told him to push it to 3 o'clock. So probably what we can do is 3, 4, 5, 6. That's a good time, right, Brother Manoj?
Yeah, on Sunday.
Sunday, yeah.
No problem. 3, 4, 5. It's okay.
Yeah.
I can be there. So there is one group still remaining for us to present.
So we have got service. We got youth, service, spiritual, and education. We have almost okay. So maybe 3 groups we can finish.
No, and one of our workshops are still pending.
Yeah, that one they still haven't met yet. Murli and the group is supposed to meet. They haven't met yet.
Okay.
Okay,
so that's all. Just send me the emails of things are ready for my side.
Okay, I'll send you.
Okay, thanks. Sairam.
Okay, Sairam.
Sairam, Brother Jaga, nice for you to joining.
Sairam Manoj, sorry, I joined a little late.
No.
Only about 10 minutes I was there.
Okay.
But next week we'll see. I'll join from beginning. It's really inspiring. It's very inspiring, and then give a lot of thoughts in for us to sort of understand. But
doing it for last 2-3 years.
Yeah.
Maybe 3 years, but
Brother Jaga, you must try and see whether we can get others from Sri Lanka.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know how many are aware of this, really.
Oh, you're not aware because it goes to the NCPs. So you should have anyway.
Oh, really? Right.
I think they spread it along with devotees. Maybe if you can join, because see, 30-40 of us the last 3 years we have been doing, and we don't like to miss unless there's somebody traveling us.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's so infectious. I mean,
Thank you. Sairam,
you
thank
can
you.
learn from others also. That's why you want more participation. Okay, brother.
Okay,
Bye.
brother. Okay, thank you, Sairam.
Thank you.